Okay, it's Leonard and Harry back here again. We've got, we're halfway through the replacement inner tube on the Trek. So we've got the old inner tube out, we've got a new inner tube here ready to go in. I had blown that up a little bit just to make sure it was okay. So I'm now using the valve core remover to remove the valve core because it's a Schrader type valve. So you can buy a valve core remover separately, or sometimes you get it as built in as part of a valve cap. In this case it is a kind of built in as type of valve cap. I quite like that. So I've taken the valve core out so that the air is back out of the tube. I'm going to find the hole for the valve here. So find that. Tuck the valve through the hole in the rim for the valve hole. Which is good. We need to tuck the tube in the rest of the way around. We want to try and avoid it getting twisted. Some people use soap. In this case I haven't used any soap yet. We'll give it a go first without the soap, and if it needs it we can put a little bit of soap in. So we've aligned the valve into the hole, we've tucked the tube in all the way around. I'm just going to put a little puff of air in just to partially inflate the tube, just to make sure it's sitting so the purpose of that is just to make sure that the tube is not twisted, it's sitting nicely all the way around. But because the valve core is removed, the air pressure we've put in can instantaneously come back out again. So now we've got the second bead of the tyre to go on. So we'll start at the valve, and where the tyre is meeting the rim, that's where I'm putting that on, like so. And where the tyre is meeting the rim, force that on. There. So you can see where the tyre is meeting the rim, here, meeting the rim. So in that case, I didn't actually have to use my tyre levers or any soap. It went on quite easily. But if it was a wee bit tougher than that, we could use some soap. We can use the tyre levers if necessary. So now I'm going to put our inflator on. Now I deliberately haven't installed the valve core yet. I just want to make sure everything is okay first. Make sure that the tube inflates and that the tyre beads on the wheel. So that's good. You hopefully are looking for a casting in the tyre sidewall that is a good, it should now be parallel all the way around with the wheel, and if it is, that's a good indication that the tyre is beaded properly. So in this case it's inflated, it's beaded fine, so that's great. So now we can put our valve core in. So the valve core is here, that's the bit that lets you put air in and out. This is a new valve core that came with a new tube. We're going to use the valve core removal and installation tool. Screw the valve core back into the new tube. And now, this time when we blow up the tyre, it should be blown up for keeps. In terms of pressure, we're looking on here, this particular tyre says we can inflate to between 40 and 65 psi. That's a good indication. You can check on our gauge. what pressure we want to use. That's 40. Harry, would you like 40, 50 or 60?
I'll have 60 please.
60, no problem. Lovely. 60 psi. Lovely. Now we've fitted the tube. We have inflated it. We'll check that the tyre is beaded all the way around on both sides. We're also going to make sure we put the valve cap back on. So the valve cap does a couple of things. It stops dirt or sand or grit getting into the valve core. You can sometimes get a leak from there, which is good. And secondly, it stops air from getting out. So it stops dirt getting in and air getting out. So that's quite an important part. So now we have replaced the tube and the tyre and the wheels ready to go back on the bike.